So, as you can see, I am in the middle of nowhere because that is where I work. And it just so happens that about 2 hours ago, the Jurassic World trailer came out. Jurassic World Rebirth, that is. So, I'm going to watch it and probably edit this together a bit later to see my reaction. Okay, so we've got a museum that's closing down. There's Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey. I didn't actually hear what I can't hear anything. There's a river right behind me, so I'm doing this entirely blind. There's a big tail, and that's the tail of a big sauropod yet, so it's this weird titanosaur with these frills on its back. Then there's a Quetzalcoatlus, I think, flying through the sky. I would be getting a lot more if I could actually hear what they're saying in this video. Let's just turn the volume up. I'm going to go back and start again because I couldn't hear a word of that. So this is a very professionally made video.
This is Zora Bennett, mission specialist. Sorry, what mission? This would be a medical breakthrough that could save countless lives. And it comes from the largest dinosaurs on the planet. Oh my God. Fortunately for us, all these species exist in one isolated place.
I mean, the key point...
I can guarantee your safety. I mean, more or less.
Quetzalcoatlus and Mosasaurus is not a dinosaur, so I don't know why Jonathan Bailey seems to be using an American accent.
That's your guy.
We're the best at moving things and people in and out of places they shouldn't be.
And there's a megalodon skull in the background.
Avoid government control, but there aren't that many anymore. Why's that? No one's dumb enough to go where we're going.
This island was the research facility for the original Jurassic Park.
We need DNA from the 3 biggest dinosaurs. Do we have to get a sample from an egg? I suppose we could try to get it from the parent, but they're a flying carnivore the size of an F-16.
And not a dinosaur either.
Maybe we should make it quick.
These dinosaurs were too dangerous for the original park. Please don't say they're raptors. They're raptors. The worst of the worst. We're left here.
Again.
Oh,
Ourselves in a place we don't belong.
interesting.
Survival is a long shot.
Well, then there's a bunch of Spinosaurs and a Mosasaurus.
The mosasaur. Defend territory, stalk, hunt.
None of what you just said is good.
I mean, what can I say? It is what it is. I like the fact that there's now a Spinosaurus swimming in the water. It looks like a more modern take on Spinosaurus. I like the fact that they've redesigned the Mosasaur. I don't think they needed to redesign the Quetzalcoatlus, but I like the fact that it's moving around. I didn't expect the Dilophosaurus to appear. Yeah, that's my reaction. Bye.
So I thought I'd pop on again because that reaction video absolutely sucked. Like all reaction videos, I basically just gormlessly stared at the screen for 2.5 minutes and maybe made the occasional interjection, but I didn't really get the opportunity to share my actual thoughts on it. And also I was kind of taken back by the fact that the audio quality was quite poor because I was by a river and therefore I couldn't actually hear a lot of what was being said. So I've now rewatched the trailer many times and I've picked out some very strange elements, such as the bit at the end where Jonathan Bailey says that the Mosasaurus and the Spinosaurus are teaming up. Yes. So I don't know where we really start. I think the best thing to start with is I wasn't really taken aback by any of the things that came up in this trailer because most of it was already spoiled for me yesterday. One of these clout chasing websites, Variety or something, posted an article about the trailer a day before the trailer launched, so they basically spoiled a lot of the details. I've also been keeping up with the leaks. So basically all the good things like swimming Spino and tail-fluked mosasaur, and all of the sort of less good things like the redesigned Quetzalcoatlus, the slightly weird shape of the Titanosaur with a flicking diplodocid tail, and obviously the mutant dinosaur. All of that's been spoiled for me. So none of that came as a surprise. So when I watched the trailer, that's kind of part of the reason that I had basically no reaction. And I think that's kind of where I'm at with this one. When I watched the first Dominion trailer, those of you who have seen the reaction video for that, I was very excited because it was all new and it was everything I sort of hoped, and then that movie turned out to be a terrible piece of garbage. I had actually heard some of the rumours about that one, such as the Locust leak, but I genuinely could not believe that anyone would be stupid enough to make a dinosaur movie about insects. So that's why my reaction to that one was still very joyous until I then watched the second trailer. This one felt a little bit more like the second Dominion trailer. That's not necessarily a bad thing, because I think perhaps the problem with some of these films is I might go into them being a little bit too positive about them. Certainly in the case of Dominion I was. Actually with some of the other Jurassic World films I went in with lower expectations and so was a little bit more pleased with what I saw. So yeah, maybe keeping my expectations low about this one is good. Things that I am disappointed that the trailer did reveal, the constant reference of pterosaurs and mosasaurs as dinosaurs. We all know that's not true. I really, really hope that Jonathan Bailey's paleontologist character does point that out, and then maybe the other characters say, oh, they all look like dinosaurs to me, and then we can move on from there, so we can at least establish that they're not dinosaurs, but who knows? David Koepp wrote the script. He also wrote the script for The Lost World, so... what else can I say? Jonathan Bailey's American accent. This is now the second time that a Englishman has played an American paleontologist in the Jurassic series, except the difference is Sam Neill, who's, well, English New Zealander, just didn't bother putting on an accent, whereas, yeah, Jonathan Bailey's got an American accent in this. Just let people use their natural accents. They're so much better sounding when people use their natural accents than when they put on these fake accents. Even though he's got a convincing enough American accent to me, as an English person, I just don't see the point. And everyone likes an English scientist. You know, that's like quite sort of a thing that people do in a lot of these things. You know, you've got the smart English scientist. I mean, that's what we had in things like Pacific Rim and that sort of thing. Why did they feel the need to change that? It's kind of telling that I'm complaining more about the accent of a character than about the dinosaur designs. As I say, Spinosaurus, it's got a bit of a baryonyx head, as in the head from the baryonyx from the previous films, but hey, it's got a paddle tail and it's swimming in the water. I just really hope it's not actually multi-packing with the sodding Mosasaurus. That would be so cringe, so unmitigatingly cringe. So yeah, I think it's too early to judge, really. I think if the writing is better than the trailer, then maybe all of those problems will be forgiven. It looks fun. It looks like I won't have as bad a time as I did with Dominion. At least the plot now revolves around dinosaurs. We actually have a clearer understanding of the plot than we did with Dominion, where it was just like dinosaurs are everywhere and then you knew nothing about the plot. I feel like they've told us enough about the plot without telling us exactly what happens. Although I do wonder if there were some shots in that trailer that were a bit spoilery. I do wonder if the Spinosaurus Mosasaurus stuff is the finale climax, and that's why the family's on the boat with the scientists, and if they've kind of already given away how the show ends. Who knows? I hope we haven't seen the last scene with Mahershala Ali when he's waving the flaming torch around. That would be really weird if that is like a scene where he gets eaten, to show that in the trailer. Yeah, it's really hard to say at this time. Oh, and the other thing is just the whole plot around we need dinosaur DNA for medicine. And also, nobody picked up any mosasaur DNA or Quetzalcoatlus DNA. There was a Quetzalcoatlus nest on the top of a big building in Dominion. Mosasaurus has been trashing various people's boats, and you're telling me you couldn't get the DNA from either of those, and there's something unique about the Titanosaur DNA. I really wish they'd gone with something like Amphicelius instead, because we've already had a big Titanosaur in the last movie with Dreadnoughtus. Allegedly this one's called Titanosaurus, which is really stupid, because Titanosaurus is a really dubious dinosaur known from very limited fossils. It's a Titanosaur. It's probably based on Patagotitan, because that's the big Titanosaur that was referred to as the Titanosaur before they gave it a proper name. So yeah, but why? Like, if you're going to give it a whip tail, just go with Amphicelius. I've got the Amphicelius vertebrae right behind me. This is a big... Okay, no, now we call it something like Marapunisaurus, which is sort of an amusing fact that they decided to change the name for an animal we don't actually have any fossils for. But yeah, maybe Marapunisaurus doesn't have the same ring as Titanosaur. It's all about marketing, isn't it? But there we go. I like the fact that Quetzalcoatlus is moving on the ground. I still feel it's not intimidating enough because it's in a sort of enclosed space. I think Quetzalcoatlus works best in like on the ground, in open spaces where it can be really tall. That's what we got in Prehistoric Planet with both Quetzalcoatlus and Hatzegopteryx. So yeah, but these are all nitpicks. I will be interested to see where this goes, how it goes. I'm not going to make any decisions about it yet. I'm going to try and go in with the lowest possible expectations so that I might be more likely to enjoy myself. But the main takeaway for me is I'm glad that we're getting a little bit closer to people seeing what dinosaurs, or slightly more accurate dinosaurs, in the form of the Spinosaurus. Raptors are still scaly, and that's a step backwards. The T-Rex looks fine. Dilophosaurus is whatever. Yeah. That's basically all of the thoughts I can come up with now. There will be hundreds of think pieces about this trailer all over Twitter. I'll probably put up some more stuff on Twitter at some point saying how I thought about the trailer. But there we go. Jurassic World Rebirth comes out this summer. Can't wait!